Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Shinrin Yoku, and Yurt Life, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Friday, January 26, 6 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. The path of the April 2024 eclipse is shown here. Are you going to be witnessing it? We also have heavy snow forecast for February as winter continues. Keep calm. It's boom time. Illinois ice jam forces evacuations along the Kankakee River amid flooding worries. We talked about this ice jam, but the temperature has since warmed up, and that river is pushing that ice flow forward, and it's causing, well, some major flooding concerns. It's expected that the ice jam on the river will completely break Friday, leading to an increased risk of flooding from Wilmington to Phelan Acres. So heads up if you're in that region. Now, residents of Alaska's capital are digging out after snowfall for January hits near record levels. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Al Gore says he has a cabin in Alaska and there's no snow there. But it's true. Roofs are collapsing and boats are sinking under the weight of Juneau's heavy snow. Ho, ho, ho. Rounds of rain ahead for the Northwest. California as moisture is ramping up, and there's going to be some snow this weekend in the Northeast. Not much, but enough to create a headache. Take a look. 3+ for the northern reaches. And we've got the full forecast now. Flooding impacts from the deep south to the southern Appalachians. Heavy rain across the northwest and snow in the northeast this weekend. Flash, urban, and small stream flooding impacts are possible from the deep south into the southern Appalachian Mountains through Saturday. Periods of heavy rain and high elevation snow is expected across the Pacific Northwest through the weekend, and heavy snow and some mixed precipitation is possible through tonight across the Northeast, with more snow periods this weekend across that region. Let's take a look at the forecast. Let's back it up here. You can see the first of several atmospheric rivers pushing into the Pacific Northwest as that snow is lingering in the Northeast. That's going to move offshore for the Northeast as a second system develops in the south, and the Pacific Northwest gets pummeled by that heavy moisture through the end of the weekend. Here's your Monday. Snow will be in central PA and in the Catskills, and that nor'easter will slowly move offshore with snow following up rain. And another atmospheric river here for early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It hits the whole coast, and by the weekend, it's going to start to get very snowy in the west. Let's take a look at the GFS model for the total snowfall, and we'll walk it through. Here is Saturday through Sunday and into Monday morning. So that's the weekend snow. Here is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when that atmospheric river moves in here. So late next week, heavy snow for the Sierras, and then west of the Continental Divide through the weekend. Take a look at that. And then the snow is going to continue as it moves east. So very good looking snowcast through the first 10 days of February there. Seismic update. We have a coronal hole watch right now for seismic activity. Nothing major happening. 5.1 in Papua New Guinea, 5.3 in the Japan region. Some activity on the west coast, raising eyebrows. There we have the 4.2 at Geysers. In fact, there has been an uptick at Geysers. Let's take a look at that and see if we can blow up the computer live on air. We're going to look at all magnitude today, and there you can see there is quite a flurry of activity at the geysers. So seismicity is heating up there. Something is definitely afoot beneath the geysers in California. What say you? Leave a comment below. We often see these upticks, but eventually one of the upticks is going to lead to some sort of eruption. Worldwide volcano news update. No volcanic activity out of the ordinary, and so not much to report on there. We will link it below in case you want to peruse it. The sun has gone quite quiet over the last 24 hours as sunspots are rotating off the disk. No incoming spots. There are what appears to be active regions, but I don't see any sunspots turning around the limb as of yet. Our major worry are these coronal holes, which both will be facing Earth early tomorrow morning. So that's when the heart of the earthquake uptick may occur. So buckle up, Buttercup. 2 large coronal holes facing Earth for the next day or so. Geomagnetic activity is all quiet as we are still in a watch for maybe G1 geomagnetic storm. I took a look at telemetry, and it doesn't appear to be anything spectacular happening. Small impact here from one of those CMEs, didn't do much to telemetry, pushed plasma speed up to 500 kilometers per second, but it did not budge the KP. There we see we're at not even KP2, and with a very poor aurora forecast. Now, photographers snap an extremely rare green flash coming from Venus. A brief green flash of light was recently spotted coming from Venus. You can see it at the top there, right there, in the night sky. The colorful shimmer has only been seen a handful of times before. Al Gore's a bore. But our sun often does it when it's setting. Green flashes are most commonly seen during sunsets above the ocean. This phenomenon isn't aliens or anything. It has to do with the refraction of light. So the same thing happening here with Venus that happens with the sun on Earth. Light is refracting through our atmosphere, creating this effect. Messenger comets might be why Earth has life. In other words, panspermia, and Ryugu samples are suggesting this. Organic matter might be the small seeds of life once delivered from space to Earth, and they appear to be in some of the dust collected from asteroid Ryugu. Now, a detailed investigation of the asteroid sample has provided further evidence that organic molecules which give rise to life to our planet were brought here by ancient comets. How do you like them apples? Mining giants told to pay $9.7 billion over Brazil dam disaster. Whew. Say that 5 times fast. Take a look at that car. That is a $9.7 billion car. Gargantuan star lizard was one of the last and largest dinosaurs of its kind. Scientists spent years retrieving fossils of the Cretaceous sauropod, which they've named Psittasaura, or star lizard. The newly discovered sauropod, Psittasaura mare, lived during the Cretaceous period in what is now Argentina. Wow. Researchers have identified a newfound sauropod and one of the largest of its kind. There is a little example here, how large they would be compared to a human. We can just blow that up for you. Wow. We don't want it bigger. We want it a little smaller here. Let's shrink her down. There it is. And so there you have it. All the links will be below. I discovered a tiny frog that lives its whole life inside one plant. Take a look at this. Bella barata is with one of the bromeliads that host the frog. So these frogs live in a specific type of tropical plant here called a bromeliad for their whole life cycle, from tadpole to adult. Very unique find. And more interesting, they only live in like a small area, like a half a square mile. There he is. So if that interests you, check it out. New species of frog living in bromeliads. Now, unprecedented 1,000 manatees are gathering in Florida this week, but no one knows why, except they know why. They just don't want to say it, because the water is cold. Now, manatees are typically solitary animals, but this week they've gathered in record-breaking numbers in Florida State Park. Nearly 1,000 of the gentle sea mammals, also known as sea cows, were counted at Blue Spring State Park earlier this week, as first reported by the park's Facebook page. That jumped from the last record gathering, which was New Year's Day 2024, when park rangers observed 736 of the beloved animals. This is very much unusual, said Cara Birchman, a research associate at the nonprofit Save Manatee Club. I wasn't definitely not expecting to see this high number. Well, these people are not smart. The sheer number of the manatees gathering together is notable. But while the reason for their arrival is uncertain to these brain-dead people, it may be weather-related. See, the water in nearby St. John's River, where the manatees are known to spend their life, recently dropped to a chilly 58 degrees on that same day, easily the coldest day of the year, which drove the manatees a beeline for Blue Spring State Park, where their hot springs keep the water a balmy 72. Manatees aren't dumb, just the people that report on them. Now, good news, but bad news for non-French tourists. A French tourist finds a massive 7.46 carat diamond at the Arkansas State Park of the same name. I think it's Crater of Diamonds State Park. Yeah, that's what it's called. Scoring That's a big score at the 37-acre search area on January 11th. It is the 7th largest diamond ever found at the park. Now, scientists warn of Arctic zombie virus lurking in the thawing permafrost. Look at this picture. It is so creeper. Oh, my goodness. We got to take a look at this. Where is it? What is that? What have they got jammed into her eye there? Anyway, it's official. Scientists have completely abandoned the established methods of their discipline and decided to peddle science fiction instead. Some scientists are warning of the potential for Arctic zombie viruses in Siberia, according to reports. The claim is that as the climate change causes the Arctic permafrost to thaw, it will release ancient viruses that could put people at risk of becoming zombies. Probably not. Now, here is the path of the April 2024 eclipse. If you're planning, plan now because the prices are rising and things are getting sold out across the country. It might be better just to camp or just make it a day trip and stay outside of the zone and drive in. Those are my 2 cents. But what I find interesting on this map is this is all of the past and future eclipses since 1918 to 2106. And I remember as a child, when I was 8, the 1979 eclipse here, which we watched from Philadelphia out of shoeboxes. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video as we are shadow banned and we need your help to grow. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do and watch all of our podcasts commercial free in one place. And be safe. We love you.